Are you ready?
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of the After Sesh podcast, sponsored by absolutely no one. How are we getting on? Same host as usual. Adam and Aaron here. What's the crack? How's everyone?
One day we'll get a sponsor. One day.
Maybe one day.
There'll be some random ass thing like Clash of Clans or something.
Or Raid Shadow Legends.
Or Flyfit. Look at those gains on you, you big bastard.
No, we won't talk about that. That's the process.
In due course.
In due course. But as you were saying there, sponsors, who would you like to be sponsored by? Like, who's the dream sponsor? Or who would be just a funny sponsor to get? Don't think too deep into it.
A funny one, and Summers.
Yeah, oh my god, that'd be fucking hilarious. Jesus Christ.
Do you need help?
Don't think that'll be sponsored by Pfizer, the little blue pill.
This is the slippery podcast.
Yeah.
The wet and wild podcast. There you go.
There you go, exactly.
They just sit here in fucking lingerie and bleeding aprons and the elephant underwear doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And right, say no more. That's an image that I want in my head.
Yeah, that's it. That's enough of that. Enough said.
Although I'll give you a few months, you have the body for it, just saying.
Who knows? We'll have a calendar. The After Sesh calendar.
Oh my god, yes.
Just photos of dogs and kittens and shit like that and whatever other people think are nice.
We'd sell a whole 3 of them.
Oh, imagine.
I'll buy 2 of them.
The profits.
Who would you like to be an ideal sponsor?
I don't know. Depends on who pays the most money. That's, yeah, you know.
See, the thing with
if we got a good bit of cash for it, I wouldn't care.
The thing with sponsors is if it's someone stupid I don't use and they're paying money, I'm like, I don't care. I'd rather be someone that, like, we have an interest in, or we go along with their values, or we use it, or, you know, shit like that. Rather than just some like random ass thing.
I'm just randomly sponsored by Elon Musk. Not even by SpaceX, not by Tesla, just randomly sponsored by him. So you just have to give him a shout out at the start of every fucking podcast.
Yeah, see, that's grand. Because he's grand. He's sound.
What's he doing nowadays though? What's Elon doing? God. Is he still trying to buy Twitter?
I was listening to fucking Rogan and Andrew Schultz, and they were talking about him, and Andrew Schultz called him a fucking volleyball because there's a picture of him on a yacht and he's like the colour of my top, like he's so white. And they were like, that chap works so hard. Look how pale he is. He doesn't see the sun. He's inside working all the time. Like, you want to see him. He is pasty white. It's like looking at me and you now. You look a bit tanned and he's like this, the colour of my top. Like, he is pasty. Christ. And he goes, Andrew Schultz goes, I told a buddy of mine to invest in Tesla because that fella just works his ass off. Look how pale he is. He doesn't see the sun. So, there you go.
I love Schultz, man. But, like, just to go back to that, is Elon still buying Twitter?
No, he stopped because all the nonsense of the bots and like it wasn't worth it and all that crap. So
how many bots do you reckon are on Twitter?
Well, how many followers have we got? 123 or something. So there's about 123 bots. Well, 122 because I'm not one of them. So
that we're aware of.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elon, add them to the list.
Not that I pay for bots or anything, but it's actually not a bad idea to get your fucking following up. Just go on some mad website, create a lot of bots to follow your account. There you go.
Would you not get strikes against you? I'm sure there has to be measures against it.
Nah, it's not like the followers. So what can they do? So the thing with TikTok, you want Charlie D'Amelio, they're saying like all her followers are all bots because every time you click on one, it's just like user blah 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 and no videos. And what was it? Same on Twitter and all this. Like you see people actually buy that bots as a way of checking into some like website to check your statistics and all that. So there is some way of checking it, but like you don't want to be sad to be buying followers. That's like
exactly.
Like it's social media, relax. Doesn't matter how many you have. Like I look at our one and like I don't take too much notice to the followers. Like it's great when you see it going up, but it's not the end all be all sort of thing.
But like Schultz and Elon, with Elon, right? So he's not getting forced into buying.
He wasn't forced into it. He wanted to buy it for the laugh, wasn't it? At the start, like I think
Yeah, but
so.
were they not try? I thought they were. The latest I heard on it is that they were trying to force him to buy it at the 44 bid.
I don't know about forcing, but like surely it's a public thing. So all this do is buy shares. Like it's not like we're gonna hike the price up sort of thing. It's not how it works now.
Well, no, there is. It is because I can't remember the term at the minute. But basically, if anyone gets like 15% of the shares on Twitter, they can basically allow they can half the price of the shares to existing shareholders to give them the option to buy more to cancel out how much the other person has bought.
Oh, it's all too confusing to me.
That's a load of bollocks, man. It's just to make sure it's a mitigate something to basically stop monopolies happening, like or someone basically buying up an entire company out of nowhere.
Like some Saudi company, like yeah, I just want to buy that company, Newcastle.
Yeah, like sure, I've no problem with that. See, we lost to Benfica last night 3-2. Joe Linton got sent off,
Oh Jesus,
but you know who scored 2 goals
Callum
for his fifth goal? There's no his fifth goal of fucking pre-season. Miguel Almiron.
Almiron, jeez, banged him in
He
pre-season,
got
is he?
he got 2 goals. He got 2 goals in the first half against Benfica, and then they changed over the 11th half time. But oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I reckon, man, he'll outscore Jack Grealish this year.
That's not a
That's
bad
God's
shout.
honest fact. Man, I'd love to go to the bookies and see if I could actually get that bet put on it, but I feel like it'd be way too specific. Bear in mind, Almiron got 3 goals last season. Oh, got 1 goal last season. That's a little cracker, but it was only 1 goal. Grealish, I think, got 3. No crackers, from what I remember. All tap-ins, no? Am I wrong?
Assuming so. It sounds like him, all right.
Yeah. One cost 100 million. One had to play with Steve Bruce for 3 years. So you can see what happened there. Well, honestly, I think Almiron is going to outscore him.
Yeah, if
And it's going to
he's
be so fucking funny.
like even if Almiron's not a starter, I can still see him outscoring him.
Well, that's the thing. Grealish is hardly going to start either.
Yeah, Pep's on his being rotation thing. Do you know what I
Yeah,
can't wait for?
I think Pep. What?
The Arsenal all or nothing's out next week, next
Oh,
Friday.
really?
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. See, I didn't watch any of the other ones. I've seen the clips of the Spurs one where Mourinho's like, "You're all nice guys, but I need you to be cunts."
The Spurs one isn't great. The City one's all right, but I'm expecting Arsenal to be a good one because like they're a banter club and all the fuck ups he had last season, so that should be interesting.
It'd be funny now when it comes down to the last 2 games, and just like remember they came fifth in like basically in a race for fourth where they should have won. Like they should have absolutely smashed it. They
Yeah,
lost it a few teams they definitely shouldn't have lost it, and then obviously fucking Spurs just Conte. He's so good. They were just able to catch up.
yeah. Someone said that Spurs are going to finish second this season, but
Fucking wouldn't surprise me. It really
that's a
wouldn't surprise
push.
me.
If they signed
No,
better
Spurs,
players in the window, then yeah,
right. To me, man, Spurs are the most dangerous prospects of most teams' title challenges. Most teams like Champions League place challenges. Anyone challenging to try state, get like anyone higher up the table. Spurs are such a danger zone. And they showed that when they played Liverpool and City last season.
yeah. See,
Spurs under
Spurs are going to
Conte
be
are something different.
the Robin
I
Hood
don't think.
club.
What do you mean the Robin Hood club? Oh, rob from the big boys and then like what Arsenal used to do,
Yeah,
rob from the big teams and then fucking get hockeyed
yeah. They
by
do
all
some
like the
fucking
little
like
Swindon
nuts Forest or
towns.
something.
Oh, they definitely are. Oh, it's the Spursiest thing ever. Do you know what? I don't know when they play Notts Forest, but Forest are going to beat them. Or
Yeah,
who else? Bournemouth. Bournemouth hadn't even. I don't think Bournemouth has spent a penny this summer. It's Bournemouth are going to beat them.
and it all happened. They
In
played
the,
Notts Forest, and Jesse Lingard will score the winner. There's a
that'll be
shell and a
gold.
half.
That'll end up on TikTok for definite.
Oh, 100%. Him doing a little flute dance or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. What do you make of that? Lingard. No, I know we're jumping topics here, but what do you make of Lingard going to Notts Forest for 180 grand a week, I believe it is?
It just shows you where football's going, doesn't it? He went there for the money. Could have went to West Ham
Well,
for less money for better football, but he went for the money.
apparently West Ham offered him 150 grand a week.
30 grand pay rise to go to Forest.
30
Just,
grand pay rise. He was on 75 grand a week
no, I
at
mean
United.
like getting offers from West Ham, like sort of thing. That's what I mean. 30 grand up from that. But
He's almost tripled his wages from United.
yeah,
Like from this move, he's almost tripled his wages for a year. Like
He's going
That's
to a
crazy much.
fucking. He's going to a newly promoted side, who more than likely are probably going to go back down. I'd hope to stay up because I watched them like towards the end of last season, the big games and whatever. When there, I actually wanted them to come up, so I hope they do stay up. But like, why would you go to a relegation club when you could have been playing West Ham? And are they back in Europe this season, conference or something? Maybe.
Yeah, they view Europa Conference League.
Yeah, like, it's still Europe. Like you're still going to get more game time and have a chance of beating big teams and getting results and playing for a bigger club. And I don't know. I just think he obviously went for the money, but he's like what, our age, 27-ish, 28, late 20s.
He's 29.
Jeez, older than
Hmm.
both of us. So
Yeah, but he's probably going to get nominated for Young Player of the Year next year.
look, I get it. In football terms, he was on shit money, and he's coming up to 30 now. So look, we're all saying he's doing it for the money, but if we were in his shoes and we were offered more money, we'd probably take it. But it's just where football's going now. Like I'd rather go to a place where, like, look at Dybala when he went to Roma fans. He went there because look at the reception he got. Holy fucking jeez, that was savage.
Yeah, that could be a factor in why Lingard's going. If he knows he's going to play every week, if he knows the fans are going to be singing his name, maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah, but look at the West Ham fans. He fucking adore him over what he done last season with him. Like they
The
all
season
want him.
beforehand,
Yeah, like they all want him back, and he done not bits, but like he was a good player for them. So,
he did really well. Yeah,
but
I don't know. I just I think he's just thrown away a year like where he could have been playing in Europe and basically proven to United like, well, you should have been playing me. Like,
and he
would
only
have made a
signed a
lot more
year's
sense to me.
contract.
Like, well, it's a year of getting fat, like a fat wage,
Yeah,
and then probably like depending on his performance. Now, for all we know, Jesse Lingard could like literally get, touch wood that it doesn't happen, but like he could get injured in the first game, be out for the season, and then it's just 180 grand wound in their fucking wage structure
yeah. See, the
for a
thing,
season. Like,
and the thing
it's
is, like,
dangerous
we're
from
not
a business
Spurs. They're
standpoint.
gonna
That's very
play.
dangerous.
Yeah, but not Spurs. They're gonna play like basically counter-attacking football. Have 20-30% possession every match. Well, 70% of their game. So they're not gonna be creating much chances. He has to literally do it all himself. Try to create goals himself, create chances himself. So I don't know. It's a bit of a strange move, but I want to move on to something else real quick. Something that's gone around the news in the past week or so about the dart and the, would you call it a fuck up or what would you call it? Poor
I don't know
organisation.
what happened. I actually don't know what happened in detail. I know there was an issue and people were waiting on trains for fucking hours, but like, come on, enlighten me.
I don't know the detail of it myself, but the on Sunday the All Ireland football final was on. Kerry Galway and also the Bray Air Show, and 82,000 people going to Croke Park, people travelling, Bray Show, a couple of thousand maybe going there. So you'd expect them to put more buses and trains and all that shit on. But it was basically normal, and there was people queuing for absolutely ages trying to get on the train. And then once you got on the train, there was no windows to open. It was so warm, wasn't moving, delayed. So people ended up opening the doors and walking the tracks home. And reading everything, it sounded like a shit show. And that happened
That
to
does
me.
sound like a shit show, in fairness.
That happened to me coming home from Westlife there from the Aviva show. Westlife, absolutely deadly concert. But we came home. It's happened last year as well. Coming home from the bowls matches, um, come home late at night during the summer, absolutely sweating. We hung back a bit, waited for Aliens two mates to meet up after. So it wasn't if like we left the stadium, went straight on the boat on the dart, waited around a bit, met up with them, then we start making our way there. So it was about an hour after the concert ended by the time we probably got to the train station, and it was a bit of a line, moved fairly quick, and got on the dart, and there was no windows to open. There was windows, but there was no like thing to pull it or
Yeah,
push it
you
open or
could.
anything. I was shocked by that. I was like, that's a bit weird. It must be just this carriage we're on. It's not a way like you trying to get fucking loads of people home, so just throw trains together and just throw carriages together or whatever. But it's not a health and safety thing. Like there's literally no airflow in it, and the condensation was ridiculous. Like the floor was nearly slippy. It was that wet. And you can just see
Jesus.
this. You can see the sweat drip down the windows, and Everyone's sitting there fanning themselves. Some got sick into a bag. It was that warm, and at every stop, we just opened the door just to get a bit of air. And I looked down, and nearly everyone was doing the same thing. And once the window open, everyone popping the head out of the door to get a bit of air. Like, it was horrible. And like, this was
You
what,
know,
2 weeks ago, so it
that
was
sounds that
fucking
sounds
warm.
fucking awful.
Oh, it was
That's it.
so warm. Like, it
Oh
was.
my god, man, that's rough.
So,
Like I was in a lift in London when something similar happened. We got caught in between the basement and the ground floor. We were stuck in the lift for like an hour and a half. And like same again, someone's there getting sick because it was that warm. But like genuinely, we didn't pull the door open and get a little bit of air in. Like I wouldn't have been very far behind them. Like genuinely, like I think we were all on the verge of like fucking like everyone was gonna fucking puke their ring up basically. Like
yeah.
only like we literally did it, jarring the door open and then closing it or letting it close, rejigged it, and we got back up to the next floor. Like, but when I got out of there, I jumped on the floor and literally was just lying down on cold floor. It was fucking
Oh,
lovely. But after that sort of experience, well, here, give you a laugh. The technician was called, right? They never told him not to come because the lift was all right then afterwards. He didn't show up for like till 3 hours after the original call was made.
Jesus.
So if you were stuck there for 3 hours, man, fucking knows what would have happened. Like,
He probably would have
but
nearly
back to what
passed
you were.
out.
Oh, definitely, like definitely. Would have opened it, would have been like fucking 5 carcasses in there.
Jesus. And how was this over here? Was I was abroad to say
I was in London. Sorry,
London? Sorry, you probably said I was forgot. But like, was it warm? Was it during the summer? Was it?
it was in May or April.
So it would have been
One or
like
the other.
quite warm.
Yeah, it was
Would have.
warm enough. Like over there, like you were getting like decent weather. Like no, it wouldn't nothing like what we had over the last few weeks, but like decent. Like about like 22, 23 probably.
And if you're in a lift that has no airflow, like same
Man, it
thing
was
as a
on the
train.
bottom floor. The bottom floor of the lift. Like we're in between the bottom floor and like the basement and the middle and the ground floor. So like it's just fucking excruciating here. It feels like you're in a sauna. At
Yeah,
least you can leave a sauna.
it's not nice, but I have to say I actually really enjoyed that Westlife concert. A lot of people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's Westlife, blah blah blah," but I grew up in a house with my mum, our two sisters, well, my two aunties, and my nanny. So it was all growing up listening to Boys on Westlife, but more so Westlife. They went to concerts, I went along. So I think Westlife was my first concert as a kid, and I think I've only missed one or two, which is, I don't know if it's sad, but I actually quite
That's
enjoyed them.
some good going. That's some good going there, bro.
I actually quite
Honestly,
enjoyed them.
I went to one I think in like 2007, 2006, something like that. One of them in Croke. It's actually a whopper concert. I
The
haven't heard
farewell
anyone say a
tour.
bad word. I couldn't tell you, bro. I honestly could not tell you. I think your man, who was it? Fella from X Factor, Shane Ward. He was
Jesus.
he was there. So probably around 2007. I don't know, whatever tour that was, bro. That's the only time I've ever gone to see Westlife. They were deadly though. I have to say, put on a great show. I've heard that about this time around. I heard they actually did put on a really good show, and I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about it. So most of the videos I've seen look good. So fair play to them.
I enjoyed it.
Still
Belting
doing
out
it.
the songs.
Yeah, that's it, man. Sure, they have a few catchy songs. Like, I'm sure I can't say that, man. I'm going to see Garth Brooks in September.
Jesus.
Calm down, Westlife.
Much rather Westlife any day of the week. But we were in the gold circle, which made it even better. So like we could literally smell their farts. It was great.
Fair enough.
But
To each their own, I suppose.
the Sugar Babes were supporting them, and they were shy.
Ready?
They
I
just,
heard a lot of people were really excited about the Sugar Babes being there.
so was I, a bit of a throwback sort of thing, but they were so like me here, like static and no energy, just sitting there, and their choreography just like turn the head, sing, turn the head, sing, sit down. Like there was literally no dancing, no movement, and the stage was just obviously had the stage, and there was a part of it going out to the halfway line with a little circle there. Didn't go down at once. Literally just stayed on the main part, just standing there, no dancing. You'd be lucky if you walked to the other side of the stage, but there was no energy. And hey,
Yay. There and back again. There
yeah,
we go.
yeah, there was no energy off them, but Westlife do put on a good show, and I enjoyed it. So
Well, there you go. That's the main thing. Once you get a good bit of enjoyment out of it, once you get the concert experience, fucking delighted. What can you do? I apologize about this fucking camera arrangement, but someone keeps texting me. I have
what's
to do
the?
my fucking head in.
I was at the Westlife concert. Then I was at the All Ireland Hurling final. Got to Croke Park every time there's a match on, whether Dublin are playing or neutral. But the Hurling final was probably one of the worst. Is he gone? Is he?
No, I'm still here.
Oh dear. But the hurling final is probably one of the worst that I've been at with the crowds. We got Nally tickets, and I think they outsell fucking nearly most matches. You know that because we got there relatively early. Did I tell you about my Blackburn situation? Did I?
No, I
Scored
haven't
every
heard of this.
the score the other day. They were saying I was going to push 30 degrees, so I prepared myself. Got a the Ballygown 2 litre bottle thing, the chunky one. I had two of them
Yeah,
lying around, so I washed them out and put blacker into one, water in the other one, and put it in the freezer for an hour or two before I left, so it was nice and cold. Took it out, and I don't know how, but I stuffed ice into it to make it even colder. Parked up at Croke Park, walking in, there was a little. It's blocked off at the Clon lift, so we're walking through there, and the guard stopped me saying, "You can't go in with that." What? And he took the blackcurrant at me and threw it in the bin. I said, "It's just blackcurrant." He said, "I don't care," and took it at me and threw it in the bin. And I
that's ridiculous.
and like in the
That's fucking
heat,
ridiculous. Surely they can't do that.
yeah, and in the heat, I was like, "I need a bit of sugar." I was like, "Can I drink it?" I was like, "Do you know what? I was gonna say can I drink it now, but it's already in the bin." Like the bin was full, it was on top of it, but the thought of drinking out of the bin just didn't feel right. So I was like, "Ah, fuck
Yeah,
this."
no, fuck that. You shouldn't
But
have to do that anyway.
well,
Like,
she thought there was alcohol in it. I was like, "Smell it. There's nothing in it. It's literally just blackcurrant. I need a bit. I didn't say this, but um, I said it's only blackcurrant. But like there could have been. I had a bottle of water. That could have been straight vodka. I could have mixed it, but I was allowed in with that, but not the blackcurrant.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. Sounds like a bit of a power trip to me.
Yeah, and like the water was not nearly gone, but there was a good chunk out of it 'cause I drank it in the car because I had blackcurrant here that I done before the match, so I was drinking the water beforehand, and that was gone within the first half because when we got in there, um, we stood just right beside the screen on that stairs, and everyone just piled in. Like the stewards were trying to stop people saying it's too full, but they just gave up. Like they literally just went, "I give up," and loads of people came in. Normally the hill and alley's fairly packed, grand, but this time like I was literally standing to my side, people on top of me, and it was horrible. It was 26 or 27 degrees at one stage. People on top of you, sweat was dripping down me. Oh, Jesus, it was horrible. So at half time, I said to me, "Mate, come on, we go down to the side where the side of the Hogan. Probably went with the Hupac down there and half time and all that." Walked around, and there was a bar or a shop just at the entrance of that um, gate into the side, and that was packed with people trying to get drink or whatever. So it took us about 10 minutes to make our way through that. Eventually, got to the side, and even though it was half time, that was still like packed, nowhere to stand. So I'm like, right, fuck this. So we went out and down, away from everyone, into the shade where it was cold downstairs, whatever, for a few minutes, and we were debating on what to do. So we went behind the goal. There was actually like a decent bit of space there, not decent space, but like you could stand with no one like on top of you. So I ended up staying there for the whole match. But like it happens every time in Croke Park. It just feels like it's oversold. People stand on the stairways. Like how do they get away with it? Like if something happened and there was emergency at the top, like how the fuck are people supposed to rush up to them? Because when people are trying to get downstairs past us in the alley, like it was a struggle. Like I was on my tippy toes trying to suck in my belly and fucking make myself as small as possible. Like I don't know how to get away with it.
Exactly. And when you think about even like England as an example in the last like couple of months, the amount of Premier League games that have been stopped because a fan in the stands is not having a fucking heart attack or stroke or something like that. So as
Yeah,
you were saying, like if it's gonna take them, it's probably gonna take them too long to get up there. Someone could fucking die. Like you never know. Like I remember, so I was told by a friend that like there's a beach that they live beside. If people park cars all along the side of this is like a beach in Wicklow. people like drive down, they park in the car parks so that they're full. Some of like the fields are rented out, but then most of the road, and even, like these are small country roads. Most of the road is covered in cars, right? And last year, the year before, someone had a heart attack on the beach, and the ambulance actually couldn't get down in time. Like, do you know what I mean? It's simple planning that like needs to take place. But fuck me, like if what you were saying there is correct, like if they're overselling it, like that could be bad news for someone someday. And obviously, touch wood, that's no time soon.
And that thing as well in front of the hill, Nelly, the fucking perspex, whatever it's called, screen, 2 meter tall plastic yoke. It's ridiculous. It stops people from standing down the front because if it's sunny out, all you see is your fucking reflection. If it's raining, you can't see past it because the rain's on it. I don't know why it's there. Like, go back to the old time where there's like a little gap and then another barrier and then the pitch. So have a few stewards there or make it harder for people to jump. Not harder, but more difficult. See, it's hard to say what to do because safety. Because if something did happen, you need to evacuate the hill. There has to be like a certain time you can get fans onto the pitch or outside and all that shit. So you need to make it, maybe widen the gap. So let's say 4 meters between the hill and the other barrier, and have stewards there so you can see someone run and stop them, and have loads of stewards lined up. Maybe do something like that. It's ridiculous. If that was gone, people would be more inclined to go down the front and create more space. But every single big game you watch on telly, the stairs from like halfway up is always full. It's ridiculous. I don't know how to get away with it. And like, I remember a few years ago, a mate of mine runs a Dublin page, tried to get something done about it, but didn't get enough momentum and it didn't get traction, so didn't go ahead with it. But like, it's ridiculous. And as you said, touch wood, something doesn't happen for them to change this or for something to be done. They should act logically and do it themselves. But like, I don't know how to get away with it. I really don't. Like, especially what's happened in the past, and not just the big events. Like, other events have happened, so I really don't know how to get away with it. It's an amateur sport. There's 82,000 over 82,000 people there, and people are fucking packed onto the stands like sardines, and it's not a nice feel. Because if you let's say something did happen up the very top, like every second counts. The stairway should be fucking free for someone to run up and get help. And even at the Leinster final I was at, and someone was absolutely pissed drunk, and ambulance crew was trying to get up, and they were squeezing by people, and like it wasn't a nice sight, and her getting dragged down and trying to get past people, and that shouldn't be the way. It's shocking.
No, definitely. Yeah, you're spot on there, man. I have to say.
But sure, it's Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah, no, nothing is ever really planned out well over here. We're more of a reactionary, but we tend to react, or an actionary kip. We only tend to react once the problem's gotten too like bad that you can't ignore it. But even now, you'll see recently, problems have gotten worse than before, and beforehand you couldn't ignore it. But like nothing ever really happens here, and if it does, it's usually about 20 or 30 years too late, and costs about 6 or 7 to 20 billion more than it should have cost at the start. Ireland's a bit of a mad place.
It is.
I wouldn't mind. It's good now. I can see how far I've come in the last few months. I can say all of that without divulging into a full-on rant about the government. So, like, genuinely, I'm happy.
We've done enough.
I'm peaceful. I've done enough ranting. I've wasted enough time and energy on them fucks, and I don't need to anymore. I simply don't have another fuck to give. Check my pockets, and they're empty.
Well, people always give Dublin fans a bad name, and they're probably worried about fucking Dublin fans. Not why you say Hill 16 is Dublin only, blah blah blah. They're probably worried about Dublin fans causing whatever and running to the pitch. But for the amount of games
we're scum.
Yeah,
the Dublin lads we're all scumbags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you heard my voice? I don't sound like a scumbag, do I? Do I sound like a scumbag to you, bro?
But the amount of games I've been at, and it's actually the other counties that are a bigger problem than us. Like, I've been at matches where people are throwing bottles and nothing's getting done about it, but once Dublin do that, and now they're scumbags, fucking lock them up, this and that, all this shit. But it's ridiculous. But I don't know why they put the screen in the first place. But as what's name, Claude on AFTV said, it's time to go.
Exactly. Get them out. Start putting up signs like the Banger Out signs, just based on them. Though.
Start up a Dublin fan TV and like, it's time to go, get it out.
Come here, you could do what the Sri Lankan people have done and go in and absolutely fuck shit up. Did you see what they did?
No.
You could do this at GAA headquarters and demand answers for why they haven't removed the one piece of perspex that stops people from actually being able to view the game no matter the weather. They went in and basically stormed the presidential palace or something like that in Sri Lanka. The government and country in general has gone bankrupt, and they basically forced the president that brought him into bankruptcy out of office. Shit hit the fan, like shit actually genuinely hit the fan. Like a full on country is bankrupt.
Jeez. Same with France, like you don't hear about all this shit, like they cause riots and all this and stuff gets done. So
Bro, France, fuck shit up, man. The French, when they're not happy, it's just not a good sign. Whoever said the French, oh, we surrender, that's just not true, I suppose. Like
tying people up with
they
fucking
are
poles and all.
fucking mad bastards, man. People going around smashing up shops and everything like that. Don't see what that has to do with the government now, in fairness, but like still probably just wanted a new pair of Balenciagas.
Balenciagas. This thing is
Yeah,
nearly
but this
ending.
is it. That's sad. For whoever's like running Zoom these days, which is what we're recording off, you just really need to like pick your game up here and just, let us record for longer.
Dear dad, I spent 13 or 14 quid a month.
And that's why we are not sponsored by Zoom. But who we are sponsored by, still not disclosed because we don't have one. Can I tell you, actually,
TBC.
My mom's yoga page was after getting a sponsor.
Fuck off,
It's
no
called
way.
Mood. Yeah, it's called Mood. They do all of these, like, it's all drinks. They have, like, ashwagandha and BCAAs and all
So that's the
things like
thing
that.
you were
And I'm like,
drinking, was it?
yeah, I put up on my story yesterday just one of the free samples that she gave out at the yoga class yesterday. And she
Hashtag
has
ad.
less fun. Well, there we go. Hashtag ad for Mood there. Yeah, send me out some more of them. Yeah. Super nice. They actually replied to my story as well.
Oh, nice. Reply
Yeah.
back and saying, like, we have a podcast, do you want sponsors?
But actually, I won't comment on the how nice or not nice they were. So yeah, it's gas. Like my ma got sponsored before us, but sure, however, I'm absolutely delighted for her. But it's gone really well. You should actually pop down yourself, and anyone that does feel like popping down to a yoga class, by all means, pop down to Iron, Pitch and Putt, or whatever else it's called. Old folks home, by the looks of it. Not this yoga class though. It's young, vibrant, and full of people of all ages. But pop down to this yoga class 6:30 on a Saturday. Oh, on a Saturday, Jesus. 6:30 on a Tuesday in Iron, Pitch and Putt. Be there or fucking miss
Be
out on a
stiff.
great hour. No, come here, be there and miss out on a great hour of being able to get back to yourself. And as Martina says, you'll never regret stepping onto the mat, you know?
That's it. But I want to go back real quickly to when I was at it was a day of a Hurling semi-final. Me and Aidan went into, just remind me and Aidan went into, I probably shouldn't say the name of it. Sure, look. We went to Runda Tower.
Runda Tower there.
Yeah.
Chunda Road. You went to Chunda Road.
Yeah. And had a meal, few drinks, blah, blah, blah. Bill came and the one came out, got the receipt. I said down the bottom something about tipping and how much it would be for like X%, X%, X%. Like you have different figures. I was like, that's a bit weird. Never seen that before in Ireland. One came over with the card machine and it goes, now from this point onwards, it's completely up to you. And it says, do you want to leave a tip? I'm like, no. No. I've had about fucking every time I got a different drink or my food brought to me was someone different bringing something over. It was the one person I'd probably be like, right, fair enough, and they do our sound, fair enough. But I had a different person every time for the starter, the main, the dessert, for each drink. It wasn't the same person, not once. And do I want to leave a tip? No. I'm not paying fucking 10 or 20 quid to someone, well, to the company, and probably not get distributed around. If it's the same person, fair enough. I was in Tenerife, I went to the Hard Rock Cafe, had a meal there, and the other one was like proper sound, like sat down, had a laugh, blah, 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 blah. Left her tip because it was good service. Like, I haven't got any cash on me book. Can I pay extra on this and for a tip for you? Yeah, please, thank you, blah, blah, blah. So I paid an extra, whatever it was, on top of that.
I always tend to tip when I'm on holidays. In fairness, no, not as much here. The odd time if I'm getting like a takeaway or something like that, I will. But I don't really tend to go out and eat too many meals, with or like or go on too many dates where I'm gonna be forced to pay for a tip. So
I thought
yeah,
it was a bit
the
insulting.
I don't think so. Well, like tips are just like a general part of eating out for dinner and shit like that nowadays. Like it's very kind of like it's part of an American culture that was brought in. But at the same time, like I don't mind leaving a tip at a bar or tipping your waitress if they're good or your waiter or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But don't we have like 10 different ones? It was the same fella saying it was all night.
Hmm?
It was the same fella saying it was all night. Right, fair enough. Like, I'm
Aaron,
not.
that doesn't matter though, because what happens is it goes into a communal tip jar, and then it gets distributed to the cooks, the kitchen staff, and the waiters and waitresses. I said
That's,
waiter like fucking Andrew Tate there, and the waiters and the waitresses, because they are female, and yeah, like he's a mad cunt, him Tate. Just to go off topic here, as everyone knows at this stage, Andrew Tate, because like he just is the king of marketing on YouTube. Whatever way this fella has managed to school the algorithm,
that's a baldy
absolutely
fella.
incredible. That's the baldy fella and his brother. Your man with the really weird accent. It's like half American, half English.
I
He
see
just
how
comes out
they
with all
take.
these, comes out all these mad talking points all the time. Like, it's a good buzz now. In fairness, I have to say, like most of the shit he says is fucking hilarious. But that's coming from the point of view of you're looking at it as a joke. Like I don't know what the fucking I don't know the guy like, but I'd happily like when you're just going through your YouTube shorts or TikTok or whatever like that. Just when he pops up, I'm just like, I'll listen to this and see what he has to fucking say. Like, there's always going to be something outrageous coming out of his mouth. Like,
See, at the start, I was like that. I was like, oh, I'll watch him, see what he says. But now I'm like, you're an annoying cunt. Get out my For You page.
yeah, see, for me, it's just I just keep flicking through. If I see it, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. It depends on what buzz I'm on. If I'm just sitting there and scrolling, which is very rare. Like maybe I'll do that when I go to bed. I think it's fucking hilarious when Tate comes on, just start talking some absolute mad shit about women and kitchens and shit. And you're like, bro, like for fuck's sake, I was like, do you want people to not like you? Like,
Yeah, some of the stuff he says is a bit out there. And same with your man, what's his name? Jordan Peterson.
nah, Jordan Peterson's the goat, man.
Yeah,
I
he's a
love Jordan
legend.
Peterson.
But some of the stuff he says, like, you just have to laugh at it. Like, it's so true. It's funny.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I remember, like, now, in fairness, it depends on what you're looking at. Like, there's this like kind of genre of Jordan B. Peterson videos where it's like, oh, Jordan Peterson absolutely destroys or demolishes fucking SJWs, and like, I don't look at that. Where I look at him as like say the motivational side, the psychological side. I think his lectures are fucking brilliant for anyone that has any sort of like interest in psychology or anyone that's going through any rough time or anyone that's in a bit of a rut or even if you just want to improve things around you and you're already having a good time and your head's in a good space, honestly, give his videos a listen because there's a lot of insight, there's a lot of knowledge there, and it can only be picked up by someone that's had years in the field. Based off of him, on the look of him, I'd say he has had years in the field.
Yeah, like some of the stuff you do send me is like, holy shit, that's like inspiration. Some of the stuff you sent me, was it today or last night you sent me? I was like,
This morning,
Jesus. I was like, Jesus Christ, like that hit me. That
but here's the
hit
thing,
me.
right? Here's the thing about what he says in one of them videos, where this is just a compilation of motivations, kind of a compilation of clips put together as a motivational speech. But one of the things he says is a lot of people say when they hear what he has to say for the first time, he's saying things that they in their own head know but have never been able to articulate and
That's
never been
it.
able to fully understand until it was said to them. And I think that's one of the best things you could take away from it. As well as that, is focus on look, life is going to be tough. It's going to throw challenges at you. There's going to be chaos involved, but it's about how you adapt to it and about how you hold yourself. Like one of his sayings was, "Try be the strongest person at your own father's funeral." Do you know what I mean? Because you're there then to protect others, and you're like it's not holding yourself off, and it's not pushing your feelings away. It's about putting on the brave face of being able to take on the responsibility that you're going to need to take on going forward. It's like an analogy in that way, you know.
That's how I feel about some of the stuff, as you said.
I
Um, I That's how I feel internally, but I can't articulate it. And then when I read it, I'm like, holy, that's why the thing you sent me hit me so hard. I'm like, holy shit.
See, the way I look at him at the minute is I've gotten very into looking into Stoics lately, to the point where, like me, Mister fucking doesn't open a book even when he's in school. I am going to fucking start reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius and a few other different books just to get my full grasp of Stoicism. I think it's a great philosophy. It's absolutely incredible. Do you know anything about Stoicism, Aaron? Because I
Never heard of
think
it.
Jordan Peterson's outlook and his way of thinking in psychological terms, when not like diagnosing an illness, but when diagnosing just someone that has like bad mental health at the time, is a Stoic philosophy in a way. So what Stoicism is, for the most part, is how you were. It's your mindset in terms of how you view the world and how you react to certain stimulus. So there is an old tale of, I think this guy is like one of the first Stoics, basically. I can't remember his name, but he was really, really rich, was moving to a different Greek island. This comes from ancient Greece, like, but he was moving to a different island, and in one storm, all of his wealth was washed away. But his reaction to it was to be like, well, I can't change that. Let's just go forward. It's about the understanding of how little control you have in the world, and the only control you have here of your own reality is your reaction to the stimulus. Do you know what I mean? In terms of how you react to news, and to how you react to grieving, how you react to like, anything like that. It's really, really interesting, and it's a great outlook on any time. Like in the last, I'd say, 2 months, I've really adopted a more stoic mindset, and I've had people say to me, being like, you seem really different. You actually speaking to your head seems like it's in the right place, and I'm like, oh, it's sound. And it's also allowed me to focus on less overthinking and more. It's allowed me to focus more on actually
More
setting
grounded.
goals and going off. It made me a lot more grounded. It's made me a lot more aware of the goals that I have to achieve, that I'm like pointing to myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually making them realistic and sticking to them, because knowing that it's only my output is what I'm gonna get back. You know what I mean? Like, what I put into something, I'm gonna get back out of it, because that's how it's good. It's good. My mindset's changed a lot in the last little while, and I credit a lot of it to stoicism, and the rest of it to exercise.
Yeah.
The cure for bad mental health, that exercise, the best cure in the world, and no one has thought about it. Exercise and vitamin D, the best things in the world for sorting out your mental well-being. I don't care what anyone says or who disagrees with me on that, because you're fucking wrong. I
Yeah.
told to stay inside unless you have the possibility of getting sunburnt constantly, or you have some skin condition. You should be taking vitamin D then instead, because there's no reason, and I mean no reason, that people now in the 21st century can't do a half an hour of workout and then sit in the sun for a bit and actually give their body a fighting chance against anything that they might come into contact with.
Yeah. And the thing you sent me there last night as well about even just talking to you about it, turning them feelings into not a workout, but it's how you react on it and how you feel when you're in like that mood, and building on it. It's not about sitting there and making excuses. It's about, see, I kind of tickle. I don't know what to say. Like, I know what I want to say, but it's like,
It's a feeling. It's more so than a thought. It's a feeling, and it's an overwhelming feeling, bro. Of, that what you're doing is the right thing. It's, you're not putting things off. You're not procrastinating anymore. As you said, you're not making excuses. Do you know what I mean? Make things happen. Don't make excuses.
yeah,
No one's gonna do it for you. No one's gonna wipe your arse. Like, do you know what I mean? We're big boys now. We're not wearing the huggies these days.
get out
And
there,
I
do it
think
yourself.
that's it. Get out there and go do it yourself. Prove your point. You know?
I want to find that quote you sent because actually it was fucking deadly.
Oh, it's a belter. I have a whopper quotes these days, and for anyone who's looking for a few lovely little inspirational quotes, even though I haven't been using this page in the last month or so, but I'll get back on it, I swear.
Right, there is
Hit
there.
up the emotional hangover cures on Instagram in association with the After Sesh podcast for a little quote that might brighten your day up, or maybe help you on your healing process if you need one. You know
There's a thing
yourself.
you sent me. Weak people get hurt and stop fighting. Strong people get hurt and hit back harder. Weak people complain and show bitterness. Strong people accept the pain, find a way to work through it, and attain their goals. Success or excuses, the choice is yours.
Exactly. Success or excuses. And to be honest, guys, I think there's no better way to sign off than that. Success or excuses. Look after each other. Look after yourselves.
That's a
From the
belter way
artist,
to end it.
from Adam, from Aaron, Slán Lat. Okay, let's go to fucking Malgus.